Uh, haven't heard anything from Tiamos, either yesterday or today. So, might as well get going.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Right. Visk, are you a little more quiet than usual today?
I mean, I had my microphone a little bit away from my face. Do I sound normal now or still quieter? Because I am on a new computer, so
You sound fine.
Yeah,
Fine
you
now.
sound
Might be-
normal now. It's just,
yeah, I had my microphone away from my face because I was eating.
Oh, okay.
well,
Well,
How
I still
dare
am a
you?
bit, but-
thanks for your consideration. I was just worried you didn't hear me.
No, I hear you.
Right. So, music's up.
Use.
Music.
And where we last left off, the group had barged their way into the throne room of one empress, killed half of her friends, and made off with one of Lily's old comrades. And after some discussions and stabbings in a chamber that was isolated from the rest of existence, you managed to free her of the influence of the worm. And so she quite happily told you about all the things that they've been up to on this continent. One of them being the assimilation of the entire Veng dynasty in order to corrupt a very centralized empire from the top down. She told you that there were three that they had been unable to reach. One of them being someone on the borderlands who never responded to a summons, one of them being a child in a tower, and one of them being a exile who went north. The child was in immediate danger, so you went straight over to the capital of the Vang Empire, Yingklad. You then performed a daring high stakes rescue of the child right out of the tower. And in the process, you learn that the child is apparently some sort of emergency backup. That if something happens to the rest of the dynasty, they've got one in the hole ready to go.
Right.
Following the rescue and or kidnapping, Lilly flew back to the waiting ship, the Saffron Lady. And because the rest of your crew knew about what was going on, they decided to also, I should say, Lorem was in the hot seat waiting. And as soon as Lilly knocked on the top deck, he powered the ship up, snapped off the mooring lines, and went straight up, even as the sound of alarm bells rang throughout the city below. When I say Lorem went straight up, I meant he went pretty much up. Right up until you pretty much as high as he could possibly go without going above the atmosphere itself. So the sky around you is still blue, though a darker shade than you're used to. You believe that you are higher up than even a dragon might be able to fly. And incidentally, because you've flown up so high, the sun is now in the sky again. And so for the third time today, you get to watch the sunset. That being
One
done,
more place we're not allowed to go to again.
that being done, Lilly, what do you do?
I immediately just lay out the fucking portable hole. on a spot large enough on the deck so everyone can finally get out, including the child. Man,
Very, very generous of you to not force the child to live in the hole.
I mean, he already
I
was
mean,
living in a hole, so...
he might breathe on the dragon skull too much, and I don't want that.
Oh yeah, our dragon skull that so far has done nothing but cause problems for us. But that you guys insist on continuing
Hey!
to cart around.
Hey,
I insist on continuing to cart around you.
I have no say in this whatsoever.
This is my hole and my dragon skull.
Yeah. That it is.
Anyway, I helped the kid out, and I'm like, so kid, welcome to the outside world. It's big, it's scary, and you're probably a lot safer here than you were before.
The boy, I believe you learned his name, Quent, looks around with these unfamiliar surroundings, walks over to the railing of the ship, looks down, and doesn't seem quite as worried about the height as he might have expected. Then he did grow up in a tower. He seems more mystified by the number of people on deck. All of the crew members who are just sort of staring and watching what's going on.
Oh yeah, we got quite the mix, don't we?
Yeah.
And he goes up towards the ballista, starts poking some of the bolts.
Careful, those are sharp.
Yes, the sharpness is the problem
He's
here.
Fine.
Ow!
I told you those are sharp.
Why do you leave these around?
In case somebody
shoot.
attacks us, so we shoot them with it.
Oh. So this is a guard post.
No, it's a boat.
It's a ship.
It's a boat.
Yeah.
It's a boat.
Can
It's a
this
boat.
carry other vessels on it?
No, I don't. It's not that big.
Then it is a boat.
Okay.
Ha! Ha!
Listen, I'm not. I barely went to school, okay?
You went to school?
Bold of you to assume that I
I
went
said-
to school.
I did just sit barely.
Okar does have a public education system. It's very underfunded, but exists.
Yes, and also Lake didn't go too much.
Wasn't like a street rat? Like really?
Yeah, I went to an orphanage every once in a while, but
Like I said, public education.
yeah.
All right. Wait, does that mean Lake knows how to read?
Yes.
Huh.
He's kind
I just always
used that a few
assumed.
times.
They've read plenty of times.
Aurelia is just racking her brain right now, like
Just in fucking
Perfectly
awe
great.
right now.
Huh, I mean,
Just-
I guess it could have happened.
Everything Aurelia thought she knew about Lake blown out the fucking window.
Nah, she's just sort of like idly curious, like, huh? Who would have guessed?
The child wanders back towards the stern. And says, is this a pseudo dragon?
Yes, that is Errol. He is my friend and familiar. Please do
You
not
all-
antagonize him.
You all get a wave of prideful confirmation from Arrow.
He's lovely company, unlike his owner.
Oh, and what is this? This thing which is multiple things.
What's he pointing at?
What
He
is?
is pointing at the griffin.
Oh, that's a griffin.
Oh, that is McGriffin. Red hair.
It's Faye.
it does not have red hair.
It's complicated.
Aurelia has an aesthetic when it comes to naming.
Aurelia has an ego when it comes to naming.
That is her aesthetic, yes.
Hmm.
Also true.
At least it's better than. Oh no! Oh, that's right. That wouldn't be a joke in
Are
fucking
you of
universe.
Are you of the ruling class then?
Yes. Didn't I introduce myself when we met earlier? I didn't.
I was thinking about a lot of things.
That's fair. You know, you had a lot on your mind. Yes, Aurelia de Zafran de Viana, Prince of Viana. That's
Oh,
the
right.
ruler where I'm from.
A huge nerd is all you need to know.
Yes.
Is a nerd a ruler?
No.
No, that's not. Please ignore her. She lies a lot.
I tell
funny-
only the truth.
Funny, I haven't heard a single lie come out of her mouth yet.
Okay.
She is
Well,
a head of state,
Why,
though.
why
I
do
will,
you
I will give
bicker like this?
because it's fun.
Is the noble not your leader?
No.
No.
She is.
they
She
don't
wants
seem
to
think
believe
so.
she is. She does technically pay us, though.
Yes. They technically are my employees at the very least. So.
And you give her disrespect for paying you?
I don't need her money.
I don't either,
Well,
actually.
you're welcome to go back.
God, no, it's money.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So, look, I have a very tolerant policy when it comes to these things. Things where we're from are a little different from where you're from. A little bit less hierarchical.
Apparently.
To be fair, we're not even from the same place as her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's true in the whole continent that we're from to some extent or
Well,
another.
yes, from the continent, if you really want to fucking split hairs.
Oh. Well, which continent?
Karis.
Karistak.
Oh. Is that why you all have light hair? Aside from the one that is green? And the other one that is also green?
I mean,
Wait, how many of us actually have light hair?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, technically
Oh, I
you
guess-
do, compared to everybody else. So,
Like
I guess
being
relatively speaking,
not black or brown.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I suppose so. Yes, there are many light-haired people.
I think I have light hair because I'm
Mine is kind
part
of a unique
celestial.
case.
So
Wow, that's racist.
I said what?
Well, you would know this, that humans from your continent generally do have
Oh, okay.
light brown or lighter hair.
But yeah, like a lot of us
Yes.
do have lighter hair.
Like the actual color of your hair does not stand out where you're from.
Oh, okay. It's just
It really
the,
is-
this is the
Mostly
fucking
a
halo.
glowing thing. Yeah.
It's the
Mostly
halo.
the halo, yeah.
yeah, Aurelia's hair isn't really normal. But
Yeah.
it's not too far off of normal. But
Red's not common.
well,
it's just not
that
quite
kind of
that bold.
deep, vibrant red, like that's
True.
that's probably not very common.
So yes.
Broadly speaking, yes.
Exceptions abound, but yeah.
So, what was this threat that took my family?
Right. Oh yeah, we have to break it to this guy that his whole family is fucking
The
doomed.
worm
Um,
that walks, our good buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worm that walks, Ocanthus, he has a bunch of other names.
He has
Just
other
keep referring
names.
to-
Wait, what's Ocanthus?
One of them names.
Ocanthus is one of his
Huh.
names. Yeah.
I missed that part. I missed that memo. I'm sorry. Out of character. In character, I really definitely remembered that.
Is the King of Worms one of his names? I forget.
Yeah, the King of Worms is one of his names. I
Yeah, the
actually
King of
have
Worms. Okay. Yeah.
I have 4 names written down for him: the King of Worms, the Worm that Walks, Ucanthus, and Worm Boy.
I think we
Worms
might have come up with
Mackenzie.
that last one. Right. Okay. Okay. How do we gently break it to this guy that his whole family is fucked?
Let's let Lilly do it. I'm sure she'll break it to
No,
him
let's
gently.
not. Let's absolutely not let Lily do it. Uh. Okay. Well, can we just give him the rundown?
Look, kid,
I don't know if
The
it's worth
issue
doing
here
in
is you're gonna
character.
need to fulfill your job a bit sooner than you thought.
Well, let's not tell him that because we don't know for sure that we're going to want him to actually be in charge. We need to
True.
find the other 2 candidates first.
Oh. So they are all. But wait, I heard that my father called for me, which that was suspicious.
Yeah, he turns
But-
it. Okay, so here's the thing. He's being mind controlled by the Worm that Walks.
Me and my buddies stuck some worms up in their heads. Now the worms are in control, and nothing's gonna get them out, except maybe death.
Maybe it shouldn't. You should have mentioned that it was. You know what? Never mind.
Probably shouldn't have mentioned that it was you, but okay.
Yeah.
Your contribution, other red-haired person whose name I
Marla,
forget.
fucking. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Marla? Is it Marla?
At least it's all out in the open now.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I know this is kind of hard to hear, but essentially, your whole family has been kind of killed with a bit of an
Possessed by the worm that walks through
but,
brain
like,
worms that
it-
cannot be removed while they're alive.
essentially essentially your family members as you knew them, to whatever extent you knew them, on account of being locked in a tower, are dead. What is left of them, it's better to think of it as not really them anymore.
A husk.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
just Quint seems to be taking this a lot more stoically than you had thought he would.
Quint, you're taking this a lot more stoically than I thought you would.
Well, I've never really met my family.
Wait,
know
shit,
that
how long
they're
have you
there.
been in that room?
Oh, since I was weaned.
Damn, even I knew my mom. That's
Holy
sad.
How can you
Just
do you have like tutors that come up and like to talk
Oh,
to you?
yes.
Yeah, okay, so you've been
But no
socialized
family
properly.
members are permitted.
I see. Okay. Well,
just Lily off in a corner wondering if she's the only person here that comes from a stable family.
that really does not seem healthy, but no, now probably isn't the time to critique your nation's child rearing practices, considering it's probably the only thing that saved you. So, all right. Well,
Well, in that
yes.
case,
So,
I
sorry.
must
What was that?
prepare myself then in that case to take over the empire. They have let me know that this could happen. Just seems very big down there.
Yes. Which is why we are going to find the only 2 family members you have that might also be okay, and
And
we,
at at this point, Grenache speaks up and says, Temper wants to speak to the boy.
Big kid, go touch Grenash's spear.
And
Whoa, okay. Hold on. Need to
Without-
clarify.
Not like
no,
that.
he holds out his spear, and the child puts his hand on the horn,
Phrasing, like.
and they get quiet for a second.
Look, I can trust that spear more than most anyone on this ship.
Child looks over at Aurelia, and then at Lake. I understand. The Chilin has said that I am not a worthy ruler because I am just a child, and I have spent my time in a tower.
Well, that's rude.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
Also, you should have time to be a fucking kid, but you know.
Yeah.
That is fair. Yeah. How old is this kid again? Like 12?
And prepubescent
Okay.
is about the best guess you can make.
That's
And
fair.
she has said that you, Prince Aurelia, and you, Lake, should teach me. Because you have lived as a noble outside of the walls of a palace, and you have seen the reality that the commoners have to live through.
I fucking see how.
Huh.
She
Okay.
also said that Lilly would be a bad influence.
That's true. This is
She is
100%
But
accurate
also,
on that.
it's rude.
Yeah, but Lake would be a good influence. Are you
Lake-
sure there wasn't some?
Lake- Lake is decent people.
I mean, Lake is not a bad person. Lake has
Also,
some
Lake has been trying to enact
misguided
sweeping social
ideas about
reform.
rulership, but you know,
I
is
wasn't
Lake really
being-
the person to teach an emperor
I
how to
wasn't.
govern?
I mean, I'm not teaching him how to govern. I'm teaching him about the stuff that the commoners have to go through. That's not
Perspective
really.
and humility.
Yeah, yeah.
I
that's
mean,
that's
okay.
not exactly. Like, listen, if the Kieran told this kid that I was going to teach him how to rule, no, I would have said no to that. But like teaching him like stuff that like the everyday common man has to go through, yeah, I'll teach him that.
All
You can
right.
also teach him
Well,
No, you can't.
yeah, and then you teach him that the solution is just stealing and killing people.
that. I was gonna say, teach him the joys of liar's dice. It's
All
useful
right.
for ruling.
Well, sure. I can give you some lessons.
Can't believe I'm a bad influence. When did this happen? Where did I go wrong?
Around the time you chose an evil alignment.
Right. That. Yeah.
Sorry, I like stealing shit.
All right. Well.
That's
Huh.
neat, I guess.
Maybe between the two of you, you can help raise a mildly well-adjusted child.
I'm too young to have kids, but
Teach a child to be mildly well-adjusted. Is that better?
yes.
Well, we may not even have custody of this kid for very long. We've got 2 others to look for.
That is
Yeah.
true, and also very fair.
But well, seeing as the other 2 aren't in immediate danger, you should all probably get some rest.
Yeah, it's been a long day. You've seen the sunset
been-
like 3 times.
I've seen the sunset 3 times, not you. You were in a hole.
This is true.
Well,
All right, well.
you weren't in the hole on the way there. But yes, in any case, make sure your character sheets are take into account that you've taken a long rest now.
Okay.
That's
Finally, after all these years.
Hey, I don't need to sleep. If somebody else wants to, it's fine. I forgot that I don't need to sleep anymore again.
All right. Well, the night passes uneventfully. Aside from the kid, it keeps wandering into trouble, and Lake, being the only one who doesn't have to sleep, is basically
Babysitting.
basically has to babysit the Quent. keep him from hurting himself around all of these
Yep.
new surroundings.
Congrats on being the designated babysitter.
Oh no.
Not only is this a fucking child, it's an incredibly sheltered child.
Yes.
And morning comes early, considering your altitude. Basically, just about as soon as the sky starts to brighten, you can see the sun poking its head up off of the out of the ocean to the east. By that point, it's time for Lorm to get some sleep, and Harvey takes his place in the hot seat. And soon after that, Lorem and the child start get into a very philosophical debate.
About
After
what?
that, it's sort of hard to follow. It just sort of meanders all over the place.
I want to interject myself into this debate.
No, Lorem would be on the level of a child, let's be real here.
Well, it's more like the child has had a very academic education, and so has Lorem.
Oh,
The
wait.
only two fucking people on this ship.
I mean, if you want to interject yourself, you can make a straight intelligence roll.
Okay.
Do I want to?
Do I want to?
Whatever, this is nerd shit.
You've had some of the finest tutors teach you growing up, but you were never that nerdy.
Yeah, really.
As for me, I went
pay
to public
attention
school.
the cool bits. Lily gets it, but pretends not to.
Lily gets it just so she can fucking make fun of it.
What was his name from Revenge of the Nerds? The big beefy guy.
I don't know, I've never actually seen that.
I've never seen the movie.
It hasn't aged well, so.
Okay.
That's the one with the where the hero commits rape, and it's his climactic moment, right?
Yeah, but it's okay
Yeah.
because she consents after the fact.
Yeah, because he's just so good. Yeah, that's horrible. Moving on.
Mm-hmm. So, which of the other two leads did you want to follow first?
What were the two leads again?
Well, as I mentioned, there is a member of a cadet branch named Brint, who is in charge of a sort of a mountain fortress that guards the empire against the roving tribes of the Wilderlands. And the other one is a guy who was exiled into the north and just sort of disappeared after that. Nobody's kept track of him. At least, not that Marla knows about.
I think it would be easier to go with the fortress first because we have like a for sure destination there.
I feel like last time we said
Oh,
we
we
were
agreed
going
to
to
go
do
to
the
the
other
north.
guy first, but I
Yeah.
don't remember why.
Was also to handle the issues up there, which would have been more pressing.
Oh
I think.
yeah.
Yeah. What? But isn't the thing going on up there just like what people? What are the bad guys doing up there?
3 tribes that they're trying to have annihilate each other.
No,
I
that's
thought
the
that
west.
was
Oh,
the
that's
west.
the west.
Yeah.
Fuck, what was north?
The fabled city of Sharagrava
Oh yeah, the Lost City. Yeah, let's do that.
is apparently they are agents of the worm are searching for it because it would be a good place to drop the gem of the dragon they supposedly worship and then just leave it there for no one to ever get.
That's right. That's why we wanted to go up there.
Right.
To settle our promise of
So,
macaroni.
if we think that the fortress commander is going to be okay for a while, and I mean, probably he will be for
Well,
some amount of time.
you do have the benefit of near instant transportation at this point, now that you've realized what your ship can do.
Hmm. I sort of like from like a meta game like narrative perspective, I feel like it would be more fun to go north first and then swing back around and meet up with the fortress guy when we're ready to
Yeah, that's
take this thing for real. But rationally, I don't know if
Alright, I want to go up there so
that's a
we can
strong
settle
argument.
our promise with macaroni.
Yeah, all right, let's go north
Yeah,
first.
yeah,
That's
let's
fine.
do that.
Let's assume the fortress guy's fine. If he's not, oh well, we've already got the air, and we'll hopefully have the exile guy as well, unless he's a huge jerk or something.
Just help out our good buddy Macarena.
Our
All
good
right.
buddy Mahogany.
You head into the northern lands of Tolgrit. And there you find that as craggy and vertical as the land is elsewhere in this continent, up in the north, it just takes the cake. Everything is sharp and pointy. You can hardly see any sort of flat land, even within the narrow valleys that cut between the frost-covered peaks. You've been told this place is a plateau, at least in places, but it's not a flattened plateau, that's for sure.
Hmm.
And if you hadn't discovered that your ship can go as high as you like, looking down, you realize that you would have had trouble navigating if you had wanted to stay at easily breathable air altitudes.
Hmm.
Fortunately, you don't have to travel along the mountains for very long. The one city worth mentioning is pressed up right against the southern edge of the massive empty wastes of Tolgrit. And it is the city for which the region is named.
That's
Much like Yingclad, you can't imagine it was very easy to build this place, given how high up off of any sort of level ground it is. You can only imagine there had to have been some magic involved just to level the peaks, connect the bridges without risking anyone falling to their doom, or bringing so many building materials of so many colors up to these heights.
Fucking dragon bullshit, god damn.
Before long, you find the docking area. This is also built much like Yingclad, dry docks, where your vessel can settle down into a depression. And you are greeted there by a rather friendly and surprisingly overweight fellow who claims to be the dockmaster. Surprisingly, just because of how many stairs it obviously took him to reach you.
Hmm. Greetings.
Hello.
Ah, such a unique vessel you have. Where do you hail from?
That's a good question.
From Karasdak,
Karosdak.
a distant continent. Yes.
I don't believe we've ever had anyone coming directly from there. Not in a ship, at least.
Indeed.
It's a boat.
Yes. Good old Karasdak, or Down Under, as some people call it.
Do they?
I've never heard anybody
Nobody's
say that.
called it that.
Aurelia's starting a new trend.
No,
She's
you're
making Down Under
not.
happen.
We are gonna
No.
nip this in the bud.
Literally, nobody is calling it that. She's the only person I've ever heard call it that. Don't believe her.
Well, if you say so. What brings you to Tolgert here?
Sightseeing.
Well, we are exploring this continent. We have already passed through.
You've heard about Shaudergrava, haven't you?
That is one reason.
No need to be coy. Adventurers and explorers seeking the lost city are fairly common here. And you did not look like the sort who were searching for peace and enlightenment. That would be the other reason why people come to Tolgert.
Bold of you to assume I wouldn't seek those things.
I
Lilly?
already have those things, so.
Oh my god.
He just gives you a smile.
You can feel that I am an incredibly worldly person.
Well, I wouldn't mind a little peace and enlightenment while we're here, perhaps. But truly, interesting as the legends of the lost city might be, that it truly is not the only reason that we have come. We would love to learn more about this beautiful city of yours.
Oh, the one we have right here?
Yes.
Well, by all means, explore. See what you can. And if you have any goods to trade, then by all means, trade away. Though, and if you are in need of cold weather supplies, we have them in abundance. Just be careful which shop you choose. Some of the merchants, when they see outsiders with that glint in their eyes that says they want to explore for Sharagraph, their prices go up tenfold.
God, I'm gonna have to wear boots again, aren't I?
Okay, but where's a good place to buy chintzy crap?
Chintzy? Crap?
She means little knickknacks that you can just place around and sort of look at appreciatively.
Well, we do have meditation wheels and bells. I wouldn't call them chintzy or crap, but you do set them in your domicile and ring them in order to bring yourself closer to enlightenment. It helps with meditation.
I could buy the bells, but I think my dad would end up killing my mom is the problem.
Oh no. That would be entirely against what the bells were created to do.
Yeah, weird, right? It's weird. My parents are lovely and get along great, but just this mom has this way of just finding something that annoys you and digging in.
Well, perhaps you would do well with a prayer wheel then.
Maybe, yeah, I'll get one of those, sure.
glad I could help. The path to enlightenment is frequently one you take alone, but companionship is always pleasant along the way.
Yes, it's for enlightenment.
Was there anything else you needed? Oh, I should tell you about the docking fee. That's right. For a vessel like this, and for the unusual company you bring, I believe only 8 per day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds fine.
I am grateful. Mark it off.
No, please, we appreciate the help.
Always happy to be of service to wanderers in our fair city.
It's a lovely city. Very impressive, too.
Yeah. It's very nice.
Thank you. You would be surprised how little the dragons helped.
Really, because I thought there was some real dragon bullshit going on here.
No.
You know what? It makes it even better in my book.
Although it could not have been done without those who share a bloodline with the dragons.
Ah, it's still dragon bullshit then.
If you say so.
Maybe.
At that he nods politely, hands palms together, and he wanders off lazily, though it looks like he's going straight to another bit of business. Just doesn't seem to be in a hurry about it.
You know what? He's living the life.
Yeah.
Now about that prayer wheel.
Bless
So
you.
man, I wonder where Lilly gets it from.
Sorry.
It's alright. Bless you.
So, well, that's where I put his name.
Should probably look for leads.
Yeah. Let's inspect for leads.
All right, and
Yeah.
Silky will put her hand on Aurelia's shoulder and say, "You know, if there are any dragons in town, I could find them. Even
Yeah.
if they are not related to either of our problems, then we would at least. Well, they seem to be full of information here.
Wow, you know what, honey? You kind of read my mind because I was literally just thinking about asking you if you could do that again.
Ah, perfect.
So you just have dragons solve all of our fucking problems.
I mean,
It's worked so
not?
far.
dragons are pretty cool. I mean, except for the bad ones that Silky kills. Those ones are bad, and it's good that she kills them.
So, you know what? Let's not dwell on that.
She's already meditating. And after about a minute, she opens her eyes. There is one in town. But with the layout around here, we're going to have to wander around quite a bit before I can figure out where exactly it is.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's fine. We were gonna wander around anyway, so
Yeah.
That was a very strange.
That's called an alarm to keep me from napping too late. That I keep forgetting to turn off.
All right. So you're going to be meandering through the city on your hunt for the nearest dragon. And so I just want to ask, aside from the prayer wheel, which Lily's locked down, was there any sort of other destinations or items that you wanted to get while you were here?
I mean, aside from like the winter gear, yes. Do we still have the winter gear from the last time we had to go fucking mountaineering?
Wait, when do we have to go mountaineering?
Remember when we met the Kieran for the first time?
The Vanishing Mountains.
Was that like, were those cold?
That was when
Yeah.
y'all first met me. Yeah.
It did go above the snow line.
Yeah, like I
Oh, fair enough.
distinctly
But you-
remember having like complained about having to wear boots again.
You wouldn't necessarily need to. You wouldn't necessarily have brought your cold weather gear with you, although you would have room between your bag of holding and the actual hold of your ship.
Well,
We
this
should-
is why we
should
have
probably,
control weather.
or we could just get gear.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, we should probably.
Aurelia will go get gear because someone good at negotiation will probably have to make sure we don't get ripped off.
All right,
I
I
don't know who
will
else wants to come, but
have you roll insight.
whoops. Aurelia's bringing Grenache.
Fair enough.
I assume Grenache is good at insight. He uses wisdom, right, for his cleric shit. So.
Yeah, cleric and monk shit, honestly.
Because yeah, really only has a +6 to insight.
Oh man, only a +6.
Well, I
Oh,
don't know. Compared to her +15 on persuasion.
I have a 0 on insight.
Okay, well, nice. Okay, I mean, I am still gonna roll insight.
Well, you can assist
Oh, okay,
and
sure.
allow Grenache to roll with advantage.
Okay.
So let me just do this again.
19.
Yeah. Well, a 19 is high enough to find someone willing to sell you cold weather gear without, without an instant inflation
All right.
of the price.
Okay, then I'll buy it. How much is it total?
Let's say about 5 per person.
Shouldn't Lily's be cheaper because you're so small?
The cost of having to shrink the materials.
Yeah, it's special ordered is the problem, so
Yeah.
it's probably more.
Has to be tailored. There are no.
No, just get a
Shorts.
child size one.
Lily's not child size is the problem.
Yeah, she is.
Proportions are off.
Yeah.
Fine. All right.
But
20 gold total. Or wait, who else is coming though? Because Silky's gonna come.
Gross.
Who else is gonna come? Is anyone else gonna come?
Well, Harvey might come, but he won't need cold weather gear.
Well, yeah.
Being undead does that to you.
Does have its advantages. Okay, so 25 gold then. That's fair. I'll just
Alright,
pay for
and-
it.
Yeah. I was gonna
Or
say,
you guys can pay for your own. I'll pay for Aurelia's and Silky's.
you
Okay,
can divide it how you went.
I'll take 5 and pay for my guess.
All right, and the prayer wheels you find out are actually there are a variety, and some of them are actually quite intricate and pricey, while others are basically just a big stone wheel on just sort of a wooden pedestal that you just sort of spin around. But some of the more intricate ones have like 4 or 5 separate wheels around the same axle, and they are intricately carved with prayers asking for enlightenment, asking for inner peace, a still mind, that sort of thing.
Oh, this is just perfect. I love these perfect empty prayers for the family. I need the more elaborate one.
Yeah. Well, there seems to be no upper limit because a few of them are actually made out of precious materials. Like, it's the kind that makes you start wondering how much inner peace are you do you really have if you're paying this much just for a wheel that spins, that's made out of gold and studded with rubies?
I mean, I'm sure it's bringing the vendor inner peace, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but for a basic but intricate design, you can pay 25 gold to get that. But for a more expensive one, it's basically how much do you want to pay?
No, I think just enough is good. Just complicated enough so it looks like crap, but isn't boring.
Sophisticated tastes for crap, don't you?
Exactly.
There's a very fine line.
All right. Well, this is all just sort of stuff that you sort of pick up along the way. You just sort of spot things as you're passing through town, buy things as you wander slowly but ever closer to your target. Until eventually you're on one of the bridges and you see a man who is quietly pondering the depths below, leaning on one of the rails. And that's when Silky says, "That's him. That's Divan."
All right. Do we try the nonchalant approach again, or do we just walk up and say, "Hey, we know you're a dragon. Want to
We
hang out?"
didn't do nonchalant last time, though.
Well, we tried. One of us tried
You
to,
tried.
and then you guys just were like, "Hey."
I was like, hey.
Okay. So what does the person look like?
Um, Middle-aged, you'd say. Dark hair, maybe a couple streaks of white. About average build. Nothing too stand out about his features. His clothing is also colorful but inexpensive,
Man is aggressively average.
which is about what you'd expect from the rest of the people you've been passing by.
Fair enough.
This man trying
Do you
his
find it
damnedest to
weird
be
that
inconspicuous.
This is the 5th dragon that we've encountered here, as far as I can recall, and they've all been men. Where are all the lady dragons at?
You know what? This is a question we can ponder some other time.
Is this like an Entwives situation? Did all the lady dragons like leave? All right.
Well,
Aurelia,
something you can ask.
yeah, again, well, probably not now, but at some point.
This aggressively average man.
Well, it makes sense as a disguise.
No, that's why it's hilarious as a disguise, because it's so average. It's too average.
Aurelia is going to sort of walk up, take the lead on this. If other people want to just run up and say, "Hey, we know you're a dragon, want to chat?" then they can go for it, but Aurelia, she can't do that. So instead,
Casually
she's
approach the dragon.
just gonna casually go up and kind of hang around nonchalantly nearby, see if he notices her or what.
He seems to be stuck in his own thoughts. As you sidle up closer and closer, he doesn't seem to notice. Whatever he's pondering, you get the feeling that it's not just the landscape.
So am I, Torpo.
He's trying so hard.
We're gonna let Aurelia try for a couple minutes, and then...
All right. What's he like looking at?
He's lost in thought.
Yeah, but like, what is he looking at while lost in thought?
Well, nothing in particular, just sort of the building that is perpendicular to the bridge, the open spaces beneath. Looking more down than up is basically all you can really tell.
Okay, so really just gonna casually say something like, "Oh, it certainly is a beautiful city," and see if he responds.
Well, you're close enough that he just sort of starts out of his reverie, looks over, looks at you, his eyes go a little wide, looks at the group behind you, his eyes go wider, and then he smiles, and then he walks past you over to Lilly and says, "Ah, Lilly! Fancy meeting you here on the other end of the world. Why, it's
Oh my
fate
God.
that must have brought us back together."
Oh, hey, Sean!
Sean!
No.
What?
No!
Lilly,
Oh no. Yes.
the features are different, which is why you didn't figure this out originally. That and his face was away from you. Last time you saw it, his hair was lighter, a bit curlier. His eyes were wider. But that accent, that voice, and that smile, you remember. You remember a noble who invited you on a certain adventure in the north.
Oh, fuck. Why the fuck are you here?
Well, that's a silly question. I live here. This here is the Silver Empire. It's where I'm from.
So at this
You
point,
were
Aurelia
Wait.
sort of
Silver.
walk back, like, sorry, Lily, do you already know this person?
He's a piece of shit.
Why, we've met before. I've hired her out once, back in Karosdak, as I was on the hunt for an artifact of the great giant empire.
Okay, I think Lily has probably complained enough about her backstory that Aurelia is able to put the pieces together.
Absolute garbage.
So she has some stories about that.
Okay, I see. Well, I'm so glad that both of you are mature enough to let bygones be bygones and
No.
come together here as friends.
No.
Well, okay.
This man is not my friend.
What about if instead of no we say yeah? Okay, maybe not friends.
No.
Friendly acquaintances.
No.
Well,
Begrudgingly
An
friendly
employer
acquaintances.
and
No,
nothing more.
now, I don't blame her for how things ended. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised to see her alive, let alone here.
That fucking
Mhm.
expedition was a shit show.
Congratulations for making it out alive.
Thank you.
So, what does bring a bunch of outlanders off to Tulgrit?
Why should I fucking tell you?
Well,
Because
okay.
he could
You
help
know what?
us.
He can go fuck himself.
Okay, Lily,
Okay,
look, I understand.
all right,
that
Lily.
you're
How
upset,
about
but
you and I? We go over here and we let
Perhaps I can
Aurelia.
guess. It has to do with Shardagrava, doesn't it?
Yes.
Shard of gravy.
it might, yeah. Among other
Hmm.
things.
I can't say as I'm surprised. First off, that's the only thing anybody ever seems to be interested in when they come up this far north. And also, you're not the only outlanders to have arrived recently asking around about the place.
Indeed.
And I was just wondering if I should tell them where it is, when all of a sudden you should arrive, and given me another option.
Wait, you know?
I do. I have known it for these past, only 2 years or so.
Huh.
That's
I
awesome.
found it.
You're awesome.
Okay.
It was born
No.
out to the north.
That's very convenient.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I can't say as I managed to get in. There was a barrier of some sort, keeping me
Huh.
out.
Yeah,
I
just
only
keep the
really
trash
knew-
separated.
I only really knew what it was because, well, why else would there be a barrier?
Keep the trash out.
Fair point. Huh. Well, okay. So we definitely would be interested in hearing about where that is,
Yeah.
and also about these other people who came to speak to you about it. And also, just on the off chance, do you know anything about an exiled prince or exiled member of the Vang dynasty who might be hanging around up here?
Can't say as I do.
All
But
right,
then,
well, that's fair.
if a fellow wanted to be lost up here in the north, there are all kinds of hidden monasteries scattered across the mountains. It's hard to pick one person out. Hard to even find or reach these places.
Right. Huh. Well, perhaps fate will cause it to fall into our laps.
I mean,
perhaps
that's how stuff usually happens.
That's how most of our problems get solved. Yeah. Like just now. So. All right. So, yeah. Back to the original topic. This. You seemed like perhaps you were not entirely certain that you wanted to tell us where it is, but is there? Do we need to convince you, or would you be willing to simply give us this information?
I'd be happy to show you where the place is, but I'd have to be coming with you, of course.
It's fine by me. I
That
say
sounds
just
fine. We don't have any particular.
holding Lily back.
Look, you should be proud of Lily. She hasn't tried to stab him yet, so
That would not end well for you.
Yeah,
so
probably
practicing self-control here. Oh man, it's gonna be really awkward if we bring him on the boat, actually. Oh fuck. Oh Jesus.
I was pondering just now whether or not to even tell the other group where it was.
Wait, other group?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the other group that came along. Yeah, it's probably for the best you didn't tell them. We'll talk
They
about
seemed
it
to be-
more in private.
They did seem a bit on the suspicious side, and for
yes.
me, that is saying something.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to warn you about one of our companions along the way as well.
Just don't make it weird.
So,
Remember the
let's-
warlock from our expedition?
well, I was gonna talk about
Oh,
that
right.
companion. Thinking more
Yeah,
along.
she's also with us. She's with us. Is all I'll
Oh.
say.
Glad to hear you've kept in touch then.
That's not the companion I was talking about.
Oh, you meant
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So,
What?
one of our friends on our ship has a condition.
a horrible skin condition.
Yes. Prefers to hide it.
Okay.
I'm talking about Harvey. Out of character, I'm talking about Harvey.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know if this is helpful. But...
You know what? Just fucking.
Well, I mean, Harvey was already,
come
like...
with us. Just come with us.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't
Okay,
like
I
you.
know that we said the dragon, like we found the dragons as a whole don't care for Harvey's undeadedness, but I mean, this guy
We'll
doesn't
worry about it
seem
when
like
the time
most
comes.
scrupulous
Fucking
fellow.
A.
I'm just pointing out, this guy might not give a shit. He doesn't seem quite as.
Yeah, I know, but I'm giving him a warning. I'm letting him know ahead of time so that way he doesn't
Right.
make it weird.
But I mean, no reason to be oblique about it. Then just tell him, by the way, we are traveling.
I figured we were still in public, so I didn't want to out and out say, "Hey, one of our friends is an undead illithid," while out in fucking public.
We're
so
in
Well,
public,
okay,
but
guys,
we're already
guys,
talking
guys,
about some
guys,
pretty sensitive shit.
Guys, just bring him along.
Yeah.
Let's
We'll bring him along and deal with what comes.
sure.
I do want to, like, before we let him on the ship, the boat,
No.
excuse me.
Also,
wanna
it's
warn
a deal,
Harvey.
like, just full disclosure, we do also have a kidnapped child on the ship. But we kidnapped him for
Okay.
very altruistic reasons.
Full disclosure, there's a lot of weirdness on that ship.
Also, there is a dragon skull.
Just fucking Christ!
Yes.
He doesn't need to know about the skull. The skull is in my special hole, alright?
Also, does this guy have a name? Because I don't think we got his name. Really introduces herself, by the way.
Oh,
Like, we'll introduce
glad to
themselves.
meet you, Aurelia. You can call me Miles Andromix.
Alright, Miles.
Miles Tails Prower.
Like I said, I do want to, like, go ahead a little bit and warn Harvey about the upcoming dragon and just let him know that everybody's gonna play it cool, alright? Nobody's gonna eat anybody.
Specifically a silver dragon.
If it doesn't start nothing, there won't be anything.
Cool, good.
This is going to be...
Also, can you paste that name, please?
Do what to what?
Of the name of the dragon. I know.
Oh. As in
Yeah.
type it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, peck and mix.
Miles Andromix.
Miles Andromix.
I know. It.
So Miles for short, or Sandra for short,
Yeah.
or Amex for short.
I'm just gonna call him Miles.
I'm gonna call him Amex.
I'll call him Tex-Mex.
All right, let's sing back to the ship then. We've got our cold weather gear and our guide to go to Shambhala or whatever.
Just while we're doing this and bringing him back, Lily's having fucking horrible flashbacks.
Yeah, do we even know the name of the exiled guy?
Yes.
Thought I wrote it down.
Polent. Although
Polenta.
there's no guarantee that he's still using that name.
Yeah.
Our good buddy Polenta.
You guys think we should maybe ask around a little in the city before we go, see if we can find any information about him?
Yeah, let's try and do that too.
Although I don't really know who we would ask. If he came here, like, incognito, then it will probably be almost impossible to find him.
Yeah.
Well, you guys do have a lot of magic at your disposal.
We do, but do we have much in the way of, like, scrying?
Hi, yes, I have scrying. I literally have
Oh,
scry.
okay. Well, I don't know. We never use it, so how does it work?
Also, please do not turn into a tree in the middle of the city.
I don't need to turn into a tree to find him. No, like, I have a crystal ball. Give me 10 minutes and hopefully he doesn't pass a wisdom saving throw? That sounds about right. Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
He will get a bonus on his save because you only have second-hand knowledge of the person.
Right, so he gets a +5 save to the modifier. I don't believe we have a likeness or a picture because the kid has never seen him, so he can't draw a picture of that. So,
Kid's also
So,
probably
yeah.
a shitty artist.
So, he has to beat 18 save.
Your crystal ball remains cloudy.
Alright, gotta try again tomorrow. Because they're unaffected. Because if they save, they are unaffected by it for 24 hours, which is how they solve the problem of just keep spamming it over and over again until you succeed.
Does he know that he's been scryed on?
There are magical ways of telling, but an ordinary person who does not expect to be spied upon would have no idea.
Okay.
And they would only notice if they succeeded, or if the scrying succeeded. Because if it doesn't, then there isn't even a magical sensor that appears. It's not something the conscious mind fights off.
Right. Okay. That's
So we can try again tomorrow, but
Sure.
Outlook not so good today.
Yeah.
all right. Well, let's just get on our way to Shangri-La then. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting what it's called.
Shavagrava.
Shard of gravy. Let's go to Gravy Boat.
It's easy to remember. There are only A's.
Gravy Boat.
All right.
Lilly's the
Well-
worst kind of tourist.
While we get underway, Aurelia might try to chat with Miles a little bit, learn a bit more about him if she can.
Well, actually, Miles is rather interested in catching up with Lilly. Because he goes up to her and says, so, you sounded a bit surprised that I would be silver.
Why are you like this? I
Like-
thought you were white, alright?
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose that's to be expected from a fella who came from the continent of the fallen dragons.
Your type aren't exactly common around where I'm from. Instead, we got the shit dragons. I mean, you're still pretty shit, but...
Well, just so you know in the future, the fallen dragons can't turn into a lesser species for an unlimited amount of time that the higher dragons can.
I see.
But with a cold breath and all the white around, I suppose you wouldn't have noticed that my skin is not simply white, but shining.
Still did not make that situation any less shit is kind of the problem.
What did he actually do again?
ate the face off a giant, and also my teammates freaked out.
Yes, well,
Wait,
once I had gotten to the giant stronghold, they were no longer necessary. So I didn't really care what happened to them. And he smiles.
huh,
Yeah, see that?
okay.
You don't trust that.
So I feel like maybe in this world, dragon alignment is not quite as clear cut as it normally is.
Maybe not, no.
Because I don't think this guy has a good alignment.
You shouldn't trust this man. I've been pretty obvious about that from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean,
To be fair, you never told us that the dragon who ate the face off of a giant was a person before they turned into a dragon.
I mean, I thought I'd mention that.
No, you've never mentioned that.
Shit. Yeah, he was the one running the expedition.
Oh. Anyway, Lake, meanwhile, is going to be teaching the kid the stuff that they're supposed to be teaching. While we're busy being led by a silver dragon.
Shifty fucking silver dragon.
A shifty as hell silver dragon. I understand why you don't like him now.
Yeah, he's using us to get through the shield.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking garbage dragon. He's not silver, he's aluminum foil.
yeah. So I still would like to ask him, what he wants from the city exactly.
What I want from the city? I want to live in it. Now, you see, silver dragons, we have sort of a thing about finding the ruins of great human civilizations and just living there. Collecting the artifacts left by previous ascendant species. Really. And since this is so far up, so far out in the cold, Sharagrava is like the perfect place for silver to build their lair. All of us are really hunting for it off and on. I was just the one who found it. And you're the first folks I've even told that, and you're the first folks who even know that I know.
Did the other people you speak to know that you knew?
I knew they were asking around. I hadn't spoken to them myself. I was
see.
debating whether I should when you showed up.
I see. All right. Well,
if they're just normal ass ruins, why would they need a shield?
And, if you wanted to ask about any of the things that came up in Lily's conversation that was held out on the deck.
Marlia's there too, that's gonna be awkward.
Yeah, her knuckles are white. She's just sitting there in the corner, fuming.
Fucking dog shit dragon. I enjoy these background noises. Hey, is there anything you wanted to ask about? Anything?
Nope.
I don't know. I don't really trust this guy, but we need him. So let's go, and if he betrays us, then... Well, I mean, I don't know.
He won't be the first dragon we've killed.
True. Yeah.
Trust me, I am screaming internally about having to fight a fucking silver dragon, but he won't be the first dragon we've
We
killed.
don't know that
This
we're
is
going to have to
also
fight him, but...
A big boy silver dragon.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, the thing I'm thinking about is that we don't even really care that much about finding this place, so much as preventing them from finding it.
I
Like, we
don't
wanna
know. It
find
still
them.
doesn't seem on the level.
But we can go. We can let him have it as his lair or whatever. And but what if they showed up and like?
I don't trust him though. There's a reason there's a barrier in place, is all I'm saying.
I mean, the other thing is we could just publicize the location of it, and that would make it useless as a hiding spot for the gem. So
I mean,
just knowing
yeah.
where it is pretty useful.
And Harvey will come up as you're discussing this. He's like, you know, even with the barrier, we can't trust that the people of the worm won't be able to get in.
Right.
You got to remember that the thing that's backing them is more powerful than a god. Whatever set that barrier is not going to be able to hold up if the worm wants to get in.
Yep, so off we go to find it.
Yeah, I don't think we were
I hate this.
going to rely on the barrier. But yeah, let's go.
This is the worst.
I'm sure it'll work out. It always does.
So, Miles is rather surprised and delighted by the vessel that you've procured and just how high and fast it can go. And you do get enough rest for Lake to get your spell slot back.
Oh, yeah, okay. Is it... I mean, I get it back in regardless after a short rest because it's only a level 5. But
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
There's enough time for a short rest during the journey.
Cool. I thought you were saying you could just do it again. I'm like, no, I can't. But yeah, if we're talking about just getting the spell slot back, then sure, cool.
Right. But yeah, he points out the general location and then a more particular location as you just sort of spiral downwards towards a particularly tall mountain, fairly high up along the plateau, more along the western edge of the continent. So if you bring up the map, it's the sort of vertical piece of the white area that goes down along the western side.
I see.
It's a bit more towards the north than the south along there, but it's also a fair ways away from the coast. Enough that as you spiral down far enough, it disappears from view.
Okay.
And then finally he directs a spot for you to land on. It's a relatively flat area abutting a fairly large mountain. And here we are. This is where I landed when I sniffed out the entrance to Sharagrava.
Shard of gravy.
Would it kill you to learn one name?
I learned Lake.
This is
that
fair.
way.
Yes.
Over that way is a bit of a concealed entrance to a cavern. And after you head ways into that cavern, you will reach a wall that is not a wall, but it is a barrier. Or at least it was to me. Maybe you'll have better luck.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's go forward cautiously.
This dragon is definitely on the level.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you taking with you and who are you leaving on the ship?
Well, I assume the dragon Miles wants to come, right?
Yeah, he'll be coming with you.
Okay. How does Lorm feel?
Lorm is excited by the prospect, but also nervous about the dragon. You could convince him.
Okay. I don't think we've got clothes for him, but
Hey, Lorem, want to come see this fucking amazing, awesome city that's been lost for gods know how long?
and how does Silky feel? I assume she wants to come.
Oh yeah.
All right. And what about Harvey?
I think Harvey should stay with the ship just to be on the safe side. We need
Yeah,
we need at
you'll
least
need
one mage.
At least one mage standing by on the ship. Yeah.
All right. So, but he's okay with staying behind, babysitting.
He's got no particular attachment to seeking out strange ruins or anything.
All right.
He's
and
seen enough of those in his lifetime, I'm betting.
I assume Arrow probably wants to stay on the ship.
Yeah, in general.
All right.
Right,
Safer there.
So I'm gonna try and convince Lorem to come along. Hey, Lorem, wanna come, like, right up your alley? Lost civilizations, ancient knowledge.
Very well. Can't say I've memorized spells particularly for exploration of this sort, but
I'm sure it'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
See, I was.
all right. And as for Marla, she's
All right, she exists.
Wow, rude.
She refuses to
Yeah,
go.
no, I wonder why.
All right, Marla, you're on babysitting duty, along with Harvey and Errol
Cause yeah, no,
and Red Hair.
trauma.
I mean, so wait, does this place is like, I guess, underground or something at this, like?
Well, that's where the entrance is.
Yeah, okay. So I assume Red Hair would probably be the best griffin to take. Okay, yeah. So then that's what, 7 of us?
It's a lot of bodies.
Yeah. Wow, we have a lot of NPC friends.
Yeah. Jeez.
Well, not all of them are friends.
Friends in the strongest of air quotes.
Well, that's foreboding. Well, even without not counting him, we have a lot of friends.
Well, no, there's a difference between friends and acquaintances. Acquaintances.
Okay, but
Fucking A.
at this point, other than Miles, which of the 4 other?
kid.
I wasn't even counting him. I was counting the 4 who are like our friends, or at least friends to one of us. Anyway, it's fine.
So
Also,
you
Grenache is there too.
So let's move forward. Aurelia is gonna be cautious as we get closer to it, like on the lookout for.
you hop
Anything
off
weird?
the ship, and as soon as you do so, you are glad that you spent that money on the cold weather gear, because the fierce frozen wind smashing into your face and just instantly bringing your nose down to numb makes you realize that that would have happened to the rest of your body if it wasn't covered in considerable layers of fur and leather.
Okay, I know I complain about it every time I have to wear shoes, but I think I'm glad this time.
And at this point, you also realize that, oh, apparently the ship is capturing not just a bubble of air, but a bubble of warm air.
Fair.
The good kind of air.
All right. Well,
The
let's
correct air.
trudge forward through the snow.
You don't have far to go to reach the entrance to the cave, which Miles points out for you. And once inside, the cold, or at least the sensation of cold, dies down. Still quite cold, frozen, however, until eventually you reach a section of the cave where there's just this very relatively flat wall along the back. The area seems to be well lit, as though the roof is made out of clear crystal or ice, and is allowing this area to be is allowing the sunlight to illuminate this area, so you don't need to rely on lights or dark vision. And the wall ahead of you seems a bit wavy in texture, but it looks like it was sort of frozen in place. And unlike the roof, it is entirely opaque. This would be the barrier that I couldn't get past before. See what you can make of it.
I immediately
You gonna
put my
touch
hand
it?
on it. Yeah,
I'm touching it.
I'm touching it.
Your hands go through.
Yeah, you know what I'm going through. Later!
See ya.
Huh.
I'll be.
I don't know. It's so hard. You just walk through it.
So Aurelia's gonna look at my ask if he can show them what happened when he.
Well, when I touch the barrier, it stops me. And he illustrates this by walking forward, placing his hand and leaning on it on the barrier that Lake and Lilly just walked through.
It so keeps out the trash!
All right, Aurelia is going to also try it. I'm just guessing it will work, but
And your hand passes through it. You don't even feel any sort of anything slowing your hand down, any sort of texture at all. It's just like air. Your hand passes through completely.
So maybe it just doesn't let dragons in?
Maybe it's because dragons suck.
Okay. Lily, keep walking.
Okay, maybe it's because this dragon sucks. Is that better?
Well, I was gonna say, like, maybe it could have been something that only lets good people in, but it did let Lily through. So.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Lily
And,
is lovely.
Grenache is also able to pass through. Lorm is also able to pass through. And when Silky tries, she hits a barrier.
Haha!
Warm blood, apparently.
Wait, what? Why?
Because it's racist against cold-blooded people.
So your girlfriend got some
She is-
draconic
she is-
heritage?
She is not cold-blooded. She doesn't have draconic heritage. She has snake heritage.
Yeah, and except cold.
I don't understand. What's
Snakes
the-
are basically dragons without wings or feet.
Well, I don't want to leave her here.
Don't
Oh,
worry
you
about
can.
me. I'll go guard the ship along with the others. If this fella tries anything, I'll pump him full of arrows.
Hey, let
whispering
Marla
this.
know the loser
Okay.
can't get through.
She is whispering this to Aurelia.
All right. Well, yeah, be careful.
Let Marla know the loser can't get through.
I really still wish she could figure out exactly how this barrier works, but
It keeps out reptiles.
that's not a satisfactory explanation.
And yet
Wait.
here we are.
Okay,
Yet
hold
here
on.
we
I'm gonna have to
are.
go back to the ship and get Errol, aren't I? Errol, I'm sorry. We need to conduct an experiment. No, he probably wouldn't be happy to do that, so. Okay. Aurelia will proceed and catch up with the others then.
I have to say, this isn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, fuck you.
But I'll be waiting out here for when you return. Let me know what you found inside.
Sure thing.
And if you can do something about this barrier, I'd be much obliged.
Fuck no.
We'll see
well,
what we can do. And then as soon as he's out of earshot, we're not finding what we can do. We're leaving the barrier up.
Well, I would like to. Personally, I would like to find out what we can do either way, even if we elect not to do it.
I would rather we find out why there's a barrier.
Well, to keep out reptiles, apparently, but
It's because dragons are cold-blooded.
Listen, I literally said that 2 minutes ago, and it's like, no, you're
No, but,
stupid.
I meant it
don't
differently.
actually. Are dragons actually cold-blooded? I feel like they're not. I definitely feel like Silky is not cold-blooded. So
Told you, it's reptiles.
I mean, Aurelia would know whether Silky is cold-blooded, right?
Well, she doesn't sleep throughout most of the day in order to gather warmth and energy,
Right. Okay.
so probably not.
Okay. Also, if either of them were cold-blooded, they'd be fucking fucked in this weather. So
Cold-ish blooded.
Don't worry about it too much. It's fantasy.
Cool-blooded.
all right. Let's go in. What do we see? Well, sorry, is the stone or whatever around us does it look natural or does it look like carved and stuff? Like what?
Roll investigation.
Hell yeah, I'm rolling investigation. Fuck yeah.
Same.
Okay, so that's wrong. That's a 24.
Well, that's still a 9.
All right. Well, it looks mostly natural, but it does seem to have been widened and flattened and evened out along the walls and particularly the floor. And just one other note, by the way, is that when you are on the opposite side of the barrier, it is entirely invisible. You can see the entirety of the chamber from the other side, including the people who are left behind.
Flipping off the dragon where he can't see. Fuck 'em.
Huh. Interesting.
Right. And Silky departed after whispering those words of encouragement to Aurelia. But Miles is still standing there, watching you, even through the barrier, with a smile on his face.
Oh no, he got some true sight shit.
Okay. Hey, let's
This thing-
keep going into this possible trap. It really was convenient that he just happened to know about this, wasn't it?
Yeah,
He
weird
just
that.
happened to be the people that he. Okay, there could be more going on here.
Could be right.
Well, let's just keep going and hope for the best.
Yeah, let's explore. We're on an expedition.
All right.
Tell me the last time you went on an expedition with this particular dragon. How'd that end up?
Let's see. So, okay, to be fair, there was one death that wasn't directly his fault. That person was an idiot. Another person fucked off because they were an idiot. Then 2 idiots tried to fight him after he bit the face off of a giant, and
Wait,
they
why?
died.
Why
What-
did they try
what
to
do you mean
fight
why?
him?
Because he's a fucking dragon.
Also,
They
you
were
could have like
idiots.
mentioned that the dragon used to be a people before, like
yeah,
at
he was
any
leading
time.
the expedition.
Yeah, you could have mentioned that like at any time in the 2 years that I've known you before we
Could have
met him.
sworn I did. Oh Jesus. Ah, fuck. Drop the ball on that one. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah, and
Alright.
Marla and I were the only ones who got away. It was great.
That was the beginning of your love.
And that's when you get punched in the gut.
The cavern continues on for a considerable distance. It winds up and down, left and right. In some places, you could swear it was spiraling rather than going in any particular direction. But after a good 10, 20, maybe even 30 minutes of walking, and most of this is done in the dark, although you start to see sconces along the walls that seem to be emerging out of the walls, places for torches. Although, well, maybe the walls have overtaken them. Until finally you find yourself in a place you did not expect to see.
Yes.
It's the Drow City again. It just led back there. Okay.
Oh shit!
Tangra,
someone-
what's it?
Cool.
It is a vertical city with a lot of green, a lot
Huh.
of flowing water, birds flying below through the giant, vast openings beneath you. This was a mountain from the outside. From the inside, it is a verdant valley, far too high up for this to be natural. You
Okay,
can
but are
even
we-
tell from the air that you have a much easier time breathing, catching your breath in this valley than you did outside. And you
God
could
damn it,
swear you haven't descended that far.
Some fucking wizard bullshit.
So, quick question: if I look up, what do I see?
You see the sky. You see what must be the underside of a mountain, a barrier that keeps going up and creates a peak that is solid from the outside and permeable from the inside.
All right, but do we see any giant blue muscly men?
God
No.
damn it. Just trying to
not.
avoid that.
Oh, that's good.
But then they didn't show up for the first 15 minutes.
True. Yeah, they were a later edition.
All right.
So why were the
do we
dragons
see any?
being-
We don't see any people at all, do we? Do we see any animals? Like, for example, that bird that's in
Well,
the foreground.
he did say that we saw the birds flying around.
Oh, we saw the birds. Okay.
Yeah.
You do see
Remember that the
birds,
shield is only for
But no
dragons.
people.
You hear insects. You occasionally catch glimpses of small animals, but nothing resembling a human or a humanoid, or any intelligent species that you can think of.
All right.
You know, you just get a bad feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why were the dragons being kept out?
Who knows?
What happened to the? You know what? Let's go.
Let's
do
let's
this.
just maybe we'll find answers inside.
We don't know that much about the history of this place, do we?
No,
Or the
No.
myths of this place?
just that
Besides,
it
It's
is
a lost city.
It's a lost city. That's all we really
It's
know.
very
Yeah.
old. How do we know approximately how long it's supposedly been lost for?
You never asked.
We did very little research.
Yeah, I was thinking that we should probably ask more questions about it, but I didn't say anything.
Too little, too fucking late.
Um.
Womp womp.
all right. Wait, hold on. But we got Lorem with us. Lorem surely would have asked.
Actually, could Lorem message Harvey and ask the prince if he knows anything?
I didn't memorize message. I didn't realize what we would be
God.
Lorem,
Oh,
Damn
well,
it.
Lorem,
let's just keep looking.
I vouched for you.
Lorem, why would you do me dirty like this?
Whatever.
I have some spells with me.
Well, I would fucking hope so. All right. Look, this is not. Let's just keep exploring, see what we find. it- yeah, like is there an obvious like? I mean, if this picture is literal, I would like to sort of go towards the central place because, city planning, the most important thing is always at the center. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so you start walking through the roads between perfectly preserved buildings. Even though there's nobody here, and even though there's all kinds of plant life around you, the plant life has not occupied the buildings. The buildings have not crumbled under their own weight.
That's spooky.
This wizard bullshit.
All of the
Some
streams
gross wizard
and
bullshit.
all of the fountains seem to be full of clear, pristine, healthy water.
Like, drink the water.
Oh, it's gonna be like the other Uncharted game where we're gonna start hallucinating fucking gin or whatever.
Oh no, Sully died! I'll avenge you, Sully!
Drink the water, Lake.
No.
Drink the water.
No!
Hey, Lorem, why don't you try out how fresh and clean and delicious this water is?
Mom, don't
No
do
one
that.
drinks water,
Don't
please.
do it, please.
I mean, it's probably fine, but just let's not. Let's just keep moving.
Lorem takes a
Coward.
sample, but does not drink from it.
A true scientist.
Smart man.
Damn him. And his academic bullshit.
Right.
All
Well,
right.
let's just
And
keep going.
you make your way to a bridge that crosses onto the center region. Like, it's not quite as inconvenient as the one on the picture here, where you apparently have to walk up 10 flights of stairs just to walk across and then back down 10 flights of stairs.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The people who
Not-
play this are a little smarter
Look,
than that.
it's about the journey, not the destination.
Not quite that inconvenient.
You
but-
will never get to where you're
They
going.
might have
in Convo.
elevators in there. You don't know.
Well, you do actually see a few elevator contraptions, unmanned and empty, but you notice that even the ropes that are holding up the platforms are still in good shape, not
Huh.
rotted and old or soaked
guys think
through
this
by
is-
all of the flowing water
Magic on a weirdly grand scale.
that empties out into this
No.
basin.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously something magical going on, but I don't know. Let's just keep exploring. I'm sure eventually the truth will reveal itself. I'm sure there's
But
nothing
all I'm
sinister
saying
going.
is this place is giving me some weird vibes.
Yeah, it's very nice though.
It's too
Wait,
nice. Is the
You know
problem.
what? I have an easy way of telling how long this shit has been here and how long people have been gone. I have speak with plants. I can ask one of the plants, "Hey, how long has it been since you've seen a person-ass
Oh, no.
person?"
The ficus is plastic.
I could also theoretically cast True Seeing and feel like some of this might be an illusion or something like that.
I feel
Well,
like asking
you-
the plant would be a good start.
You can also have Grunash just use one of his charges for his holy symbol of true seeing.
Oh, yeah, that's probably better. Because mine would be my 6th level spell. Maybe I should get rid of that if it. Whatever. Yeah, hey, Grenache, could you use one of your things? Wet Bob instead?
Yep, he holds up his holy symbol, and a wind starts whipping around him. And as he holds it up and he looks around, he says, "There doesn't seem to be anything concealed around here. There's
Except the truth.
Damn.
Damn. I would like to use my staff and use 3 charges to cast Speak with Plants. and ask the plants, do you know how long it has been since a humanoid has walked the city?
It has been a long time since we saw people like you.
Long time. Oh god. So they don't have a fucking concept of
Wow,
years.
it turns out the plants don't have a calendar. Who could have fucking thought?
Okay,
And in particular, Speak with Plants can only question them about things that have happened within the past day, because beyond that, they have a terrible memory.
Oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
Oh my
Okay.
god, that's so
Well,
good.
alright, well,
Well,
then-
honestly, that's not useless because I was genuinely curious if perhaps there were like secret people here or whatever. But
Well, nobody had been through here recently,
yeah, okay, so nobody's been
yeah, so
through
we
here.
know no one's been here in the last day at least, and
Yeah.
probably longer than that.
At least not that the plants have seen. Seen, quotation marks.
Sure. All right, well, let's keep exploring then.
Yeah.
They do seem to be at least familiar with the concept of creatures like you, although
Yeah.
as plants, it's kind of hard to tell how specific they would be able to understand.
Well, yeah, I wasn't. That's why I said.
They can
That's-
distinguish between us and birds at least.
Yeah, that's why I said like people of humanoid persuasion. I wasn't going to say straight up humans because I don't think plants understand the concept of humans and elves and orcs and shit. But
Well, I'm just saying, you talk back and forth with the plants for a while, and eventually figure out that they can distinguish between flying things and walking things.
Okay.
And they can tell you details about specific walking things that have been passed recently, so you understand that there's something resembling a raccoon who lives around here.
oh, sweet.
Cool. Okay. Really doesn't give a shit about this. She
This
wants
has
to
been
keep
completely
moving.
useless. Let's
Uh,
move on.
Yeah, let's go.
She
Alright.
wants to go to whatever looks the most like it's where someone in charge would be. Even though there's no one here, you go to where the most important person lives. That's going to have the most informative
Yeah.
stuff. That's how it
Yeah.
works.
And as such, as you go up the steep slopes and carefully cut staircases that lead up to the top of this particular mountaintop outcropping.
Mountain crop.
As you enter the main area, the biggest building at the top of the hill, as you walk underneath the waterfall that seems to spring unbidden from the top and covers you all with a fine, refreshing mist. And you have noticed also, by the way, that you have become uncomfortably warm in your warm weather gear now.
Oh. Fair.
Behind the waterfall is the main entrance to the temple.
Oh damn! I was just making a stupid joke, but here we are.
Well,
Okay,
it wasn't.
so we
it wasn't.
know it was
hidden
designed
as
by
such.
gamers.
It was not hidden there as such.
Anyway, if we are warm in our winter clothes, I'm going to at least take off my boots.
All right, you do so.
Yeah.
Find out that the tile floor beneath you is a bit slick, with all of the mist and spray coming off the waterfall.
Careful, slippery when wet.
But as you enter the main chamber, you see a vast statue made out of gold,
Tacky.
prominent in the center of the chamber. And then you hear a booming voice, springing as if from nowhere. Welcome, chosen of Gia.
Wait, what?
And that's where we're going to have to end it tonight.
Wait, what?
Cool. Wait, one.
Wait, what?
Hold on. One question
Wait,
first.
what?
One question first. Because you did describe the statue, but you did not say what it was the statue of.
A man.
Boring.
What?
No one you recognize.
What?
He
Fair.
seems to have just sort of the similar features to the people around here, but sort of generalized.
Does he have a cool beard?
No, clean shaven.
Lame.
Okay, Torpo, this is by far the thing you're freaking out about the most, when it is, like, we literally met Gia!
Oh, okay. Hold on. Maybe that's why we got through the barrier, because
I mean,
those,
we.
Oh.
because
The 5 of you who entered had personally met Gia.
yes,
Fuck.
but Silky had not.
Damn. Awesome.
Told you it was
Okay.
a reptile thing.
Fuck you, man. No, I'm freaking out because this is on the other side of the fucking planet.
Eh.
Well, not
Not
exactly.
really.
Not from Gia. I mean, this is the other side of the continent from where you met
True.
her. But
No, that's what I meant. Like, from north to south, it was much
It's just-
farther away.
It's the same supercontinent, though.
Yeah. Still vast distance.
I'm really not sure why you would think that a god that embodies like the whole world would be limited by what continent you were on. Like,
Look at how much bullshit we've dealt with that's incredibly localized, alright?
right? But again, her whole deal is sort of that
I
she's
know!
global.
I'm just saying! We don't usually see this shit reach between places.
Well, okay. A counterpoint: we are literally also fighting against a global conspiracy.
So,
So, I don't know.
Look, I'm just saying
Interdimensional
most-
conspiracy.
oh.
I suppose the extent to which we are fighting it is currently global, though. Except for Harvey, I guess. From Harvey's perspective, he's fighting the international one.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm used to shit being very regional. Is all I'm
Intertem-
saying.
Intertemporal, in fact.
Fair.
Damn.
Nicely contained in its own box.